Okie dokie. We got it cut out. So now what I'm going to take and do is hopefully I can get a dowel pin in there. Tap a dowel pin into that. That center hole. Oh yeah. I just want it sticking out on both sides a little bit. Just like that. Hopefully this plan will work. This plan of attack. So, I need to put that parallel back, or the parallel vice jaw back on. Wipe that down and put that vice jaw back on. Find a rag over here, excuse me. Wipe that off real good. Where did I lay the vice jaw? Oh, here it is. Could use a little bit of a little spritz. This is WD-40. Put a little on there, showing a little bit of signs of contamination or rust or whatever. You got two different types of metals here, and yeah, they kind of react to each other sometimes. You think that the outfit that made these would realize that and make them out of compatible materials, but it looks like that they're not compatible materials. Well, I bought this vice jaw. It's a China knockoff. It's good now. When I first got it, oh my, I was tempted to send it back. It was in such bad shape. The back jaw sat like that. Sat at an angle. The front jaw was like that, sat at an angle, and it was a total mess, total disaster. Nothing was deburred on it. It was horrible. Luckily, I was still working at the time I got this, because I took it all apart, deburred everything real well, and then I spent a day on the surface grinder. And I ground this surface, I ground all the surfaces in so that everything is true now, including the bottom, this, the fixed jaw, to make sure that it was perpendicular. Believe it or not, the jaws themselves were parallelograms that were, it was thick on one end, thin on the other. And then thick on this end and thin on it. So if you ever moved them around, it was bad anyway. So I ground the jaws, ground everything up. So now it's a pretty decent vise. It's granted, it's not a Kurt vise, but for $100 that I spent, that's what I bought it for. It was for $100, $100 US, and a little bit of work put into it. It's not too bad a vise now, but you stop and figure it out that, you know, I could have, if you figure out my wages and a day's worth of work, I could have easily bought a Kurt. Well, anyway, you know, you think I would live and learn, but no, I bought another one, and for my NZ, exact same thing. I had to go through the whole 9 yards on that one also. So, China does not like deburring their material or their stuff. I come to that conclusion. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rest that dowel pin. You know what? I was going to rest it on there, but I'm thinking I'm going to rest it on a couple parallels instead. I'll use these here. No, that's not going to work. Yeah, I think I am going to just rest it on the. Just going to rest it on the jaws. Just like that. And I'm going to get a 3/4 inch end mill. Take this. Don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking all of China's stuff because they do put out some stuff that's amazingly pretty good quality, really good quality for the price that you pay. So you can't, but 90% of their stuff, and I say 90% of everything that I've ever bought from there, you got to sit down and deburr it. Yeah, they do not deburr their stuff. I'm thinking about using a shell mill instead of a 3/4 inch cutter. Yeah, I'm going to use a 3/4 inch cutter. I got to get back here and get one. I have them back here in a rack. See if I can find one that I like the looks of. Not just a 2-fluter. This one has a really small radius on. Oh, it's really dull out on the end. This one needs to be sharpened, put in a sharpen drawer. I don't think I want to even try to use that one. And I'm going to lay that. I'm going to stick that in here upside down. This one looks like it's been sharpened and used for woodworking the way it looks. Trying to get the the tripod back a ways. Alright, so we'll put a 3/4 inch cutter in there. I thought I meant to call it in there. And tighten that up. Get over here. And crank the knee up. Right. And what I'm going to do is get it slanted. I'm going to get it slanted that way. And I'm going to go over here, this side. I was thinking that was 1/2 inch material. That's not 1/2 inch material, is it? It's 3/4. No, that can't be 3/4. I'm just looking at it and it's just like, oh, it's 5/8. I knew it wasn't half. That's okay. Doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here close, lock it, and I'm just going to go back and forth until it cleans up to just about the center, and then I can start rotating it. Right about there. So now what I can do is, I don't have to mess with the knee, just rotate it a little bit. This will all get finished on the lathe anyway afterwards. You don't have to worry about, you know, facets of the milling, because it's all going to be refinished or finished on the lathe when I put the hub in. Okay, you get the general idea of what I'm doing. I'm just going around it, and I'll show you what I've. And this is what I've got so far. So I'll just continue to go around it. When I get all done, I'll come back and we'll set up and do the holes. And we'll do the holes in the rim. going in. We'll go in the center and go through. What I'll do is I'll take the center pin out, put 2 1/8" dowels in. I'll put my knee on the table, and I'll use my knee, and we'll butt it up against the knee, the 2 pins, drill a hole, butt it up against 2 pins, drill a hole, and we'll just drill it down to intersect that, and we should be good. Well, actually, I don't even need to intersect that. I can just drill down, because I don't want to, because the pin will be in it. So, but it doesn't have to intersect it. It only has to go down whatever the thickness of my rim will be. So anyway, I'll be back when I get this all rounded up. Later. Okay, so here it is. Went around it. You can see all the facets, but that's the facets, but it's not going to matter, because once I bore the inside and then I'll bore the outside, it'll actually come to clean up right to this surface here, which will take all of that away naturally. And I've got a couple 1/8" dowels. They fit snug, you know, stick in there. Now I got to get the vise off of here and put my knee on there. I have several knees. I think the little one will do the best. Oh, let me get one out. I'm just gonna clamp on it yet from whatever project I was working on. But that should work. And what I'll do is I'll probably put it on just like that. Then I'll take this blank and I'll put it up against the pins there. Drill my hole. Next one. Drill my hole. Next one. Drill my hole. And just all the way around it. Once I dial in the edge and move out my 62.5 dowel and then get on center line of this, you know, come here and then move over 312.5. So once it's set, I should be able to do all the holes at one setting. So let's get the vise off of there. I haven't had this vise off in quite some time, so I don't know what it's going to look like underneath. The vise handle, don't need that. And my Allen wrenches. Should actually take them off every now and then anyway. Move this out of the way a little bit. And let's clear a spot on the shelf over here to put it. Set it on my press over here. Should be okay right there. Or I could set it on I'm going to set it on the table workbench over here instead. I don't want it falling on the floor. Right. Ooh, a little bit of rust there. Holy crap! I don't remember them being that heavy. Oofda. I was always going to make a deal. I've seen the plans for it. It swings over. You mount it on bolts on your head, and it swings over, and you clamp the vise on it. Drop the knee down a little bit, and then swing the vise out of the way. Neater than I really liked the setup. I have never done it. As I'm getting older, and that vise is getting heavier. I may have to think about that. Alright, so I'm going to clean that up first off. And what I'm going to do is wipe it down a little bit here. Yeah, right there is. And there's the Allen bolt. Shoulder screw. Stripper bolt. Alright. Let's move this over a little bit. Get my stone that I use for that. A little oil on there. A little WD-40. Clean it up the It's not too bad. I've seen a lot worse than that. Like I say, that vise has been on in that spot. I like moving the vise around a little bit too, because you know, if you leave it in one spot, you know, like what these rubbers are kind of forcing me to do, if you leave it in one spot, that's usually where you wear out your ways. Then if you move it around, you wear your ways evenly. Although I'm not running production, so I don't really have to, but I still do it. You know, like a machine shop that's running production, you want to do that. Get more life out of your machine that way. Especially a tool and die shop where you expect it to be good everywhere, and pretty soon it ain't. Alright, so I'll take this. Just noticed a big nick in it today. I don't remember doing that. Let's hit that with a stone too. This is this knee is not a bought knee. This is one that I made, and it's actually a weldment. It's a plate and a plate and a plate, and there's a weld here, and you can see the weld is pretty good, but it's not the best in here. And what I did was I let it sit in the elements for. This was all oversized, and I let it sit in the elements to normalize, and actually I did put it in the heat treat oven to normalize it, and then I let it sit for I think 3 years before I finished it. so that it would be stable. So alright, enough jabbering, let's get at it. Let's get her done. Alright, so we'll put this on here and then we'll dial her in. Some small clamps. Take these out. Actually, I'm going to take these out and put them with the vise, so they don't wander away, and then I wonder where they went to. Lay them on the vise over here on the bench, and a couple peanuts. Trying to think of where I really want to put it. I'm going to put it right there. I don't know what the temperature is, but it sure looks nice outside. I went for a walk. And it was mighty cold. I got a boxer that insists on walking every day. Now I'll be back. I'm gonna put this on and get it dialed in. Okay, okay, I've got it dialed in, dialed across the face. Now I want to pick up this edge, or this front face, this edge. And I want it pretty close. So I'm going to use my chair edge finder here. And set that on there. I'm gonna spin this around. Just gonna try to get the ball in the center here, just so I can kind of get it close. It's close right about there. Bring that down. Loosen this up, it's a little tight. Now I'll get my mirror. Where's my mirror at? Oh, there it is. Now, how did they get down on the floor? Alright, so we'll take in. Oops. I wish this mirror had a magnetic base on it that I could. All right. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, it's way off center, no wonder. All right, that should be better. That's better. Now, set this at 0. There. And it's just barely touching. We're 1/12 thou off, so we can get that on the 6. Zero. Okay, so I'm going to 0 my Y. Now that I've got that edge or that face picked up, I want to pick up this face also. So we'll just pull the chair out beyond that edge a little bit. And our 0 is still there, so it should be able to just come up here. This is a magnetic, by the way, this is a magnetic chair. It's got a magnet so that it holds it on. On ferrous materials, not on, it won't hold it on aluminum, obviously. Okay. Right there, 0 my X. All right, we're sitting right over that corner now, where we're sitting. And I am going to, I think I'm going to put my smaller drill chuck in though. Yeah, I'm going to put my smaller drill chuck in there. Come on. Oh, had a 3/8 in there. I won't fit in that. That can't be right. Okay. Tighten that up. I have 2 1/8" dowels here in place. So we could just put that up here. And I think I will. I think I'll use this clamp. I was going to get a can twist clamp, but I think I'll use this. I think this will work. As long as I'm careful. I have to clean that hole out. We get a tap and run in that hole. It must have some garbage in it. The 1/4-20 is the size that I made those. The bottoming tab here. Let's give me that little spritz of air here. Now we'll go in there. That's better. All right, put this tap away. Bit of a raspy throat. All right, so we'll put that on there. I think one clamp will hold it sufficiently. Because it's going to be on the center line, pushing down on it, so it should be all right. So what I should do is get a parallel under here to hold it up there. Sounds logical. Let's see. Short one would be enough. Nope, I want a taller one. I want it to come up close to the top. Oh yeah, that's almost perfect. All right, so now I've got the 2 1/8" dowels in here. Hold that over there. Am I going to need 3 hands to do this? What I should do... Nope, I need a shorter bolt. I need a shorter bolt. I need a 1/4 inch shorter than this one. Alright, let's see what I got. 1/4-20 bolts. That's a 1/4 longer. I don't have a whole lot of cap screws. quarter 20. I have a few. Not a lot. That one's the same. Well, poop. I don't have one. I don't have one. Let me go look and then let me hunt one up and I'll be back.